James Brokenshire, the British Secretary of State, has stated this morning that he is not in a position to bring forward legislation to establish an executive this week, and that is true. So why is that so? It is in part because of his intolerance of the DUP's blocking of the equality agenda, the reneging on past agreements, and the recent financial scandals. This led to the erosion of confidence in the political institutions and Martin Mc Guinness's resignation in January of this year. Over the last 10 months, the focus of the negotiations has been on the delivery of rights, which are the norm elsewhere on these islands. Many of these rights are a fundamental part of the Good Friday Agreement and of other agreements. They are for the benefit of all sections of society and they threaten no one. Furthermore, marriage equality, language rights, the Bill of Rights and access to the coroner's courts are supported by a majority in the Assembly and in wider society. The only reason that they are denied is because of the DUP's resistance to the rights agenda and to the British Government's acquiescence in all of that. This has been compounded by the DUP and Tory pact, and the British Secretary of State is wrong this morning when he says that it's only the parties themselves who can reach agreement. He and the Irish Government also have obligations. The issue of rights, as we all know, is not going to go away. The DUP and the British Government know this. These rights must be satisfactorily dealt with, and Sinn Féin is disappointed that over the last few weeks of negotiation that it has ended in failure. We did our best to be flexible. We were prepared to stretch ourselves, and all in the interest of the common good. But as you all know, endless talks without conclusion are not sustainable. There is a need for the two governments to act urgently to deliver equality. This is their joint responsibility under the Good Friday Agreement. I want to finally then just state explicitly that in the context of agreement on the delivery of these rights, Sinn Féin will re-enter government. In the absence of these rights, the executive is not sustainable. So we will now reflect on all of this. These talks can't go on in an endless way without a conclusion. So what we need to do is get to the end point. We want to establish these institutions. We want to be back here. We want to be dealing with the issues of public services, the health service, education. But the only way we're going to do that is if we form a sustainable executive, one that's going to last the test of time and deal with the big difficult issues which need to be dealt with.
What are these political institutions put together for? What's their purpose? Their purpose is to deal and to deliver for everyone. That's their purpose. And we have the main party in the institutions refusing to give people rights which are available everywhere else. Everywhere else you can have these rights except here. So clearly the institutions are not sustainable with that deep flaw. And all of this, as Michelle has said, came clearly into focus with the events of the financial scandals, with the lead up to Martin's resignation after being 10 years in office. And we are disappointed. I mean, we have been here diligently working at trying to sort these matters out. And the point of a British Secretary of State putting himself in the position, which they do all the time, of being in some way, bystanders, spectators, referees, social commentators, they have a responsibility along with the Irish government. And we've made that very, very clear to them. And, all of us know, here we are, it's how long has it been since Martin has resigned? Is it 10 months? Right? We still have not got agreement on these rights. And that issue isn't going away.
Sinn Féin, Goannas Carta agus Aontas na HÉireann, Equality, Rights and Irish Unity.